Hi everyone, my name is Rohit and I work in Actility as a product manager for ThinkPark location and ABV products. And I wish you a warm welcome to our webinar on safety and efficiency for mining industry, leveraging LoRaWAN for IoT deployments. We have with us a very interesting lineup of speakers who will discuss real world use cases and their deployments in the mining industry. And before we start, there's a quick note on the logistics. There's a Q&A chat window that will open soon, or probably it has already been open, where you can post your questions for the speakers. And at the end of the webinar, in a few days, we will share the slides and the video on the webinar landing page. Here is the agenda for the webinar. I'll start by a brief introduction to the mining industry, its business case, and why LoRaWAN serves the need of this industry. I will also briefly touch on the need of ATEX ICX certification, which is mandatory to deploy IoT devices for this industry. This will be followed by Jonathan, who is CTO at Stratton Tech, who will discuss real-life use cases for the miner safety in Peru. Gaurav at Shuk will then present the worker safety use case for coal mines in India. This will be followed by Shetai at Things, who will present increased worker productivity in an open pit mine in Turkey using IoT and machine learning. Finally, I'll conclude the presentation with Abiway Tracker Portfolio, which addresses the diverse use cases of the mining industry. So the global mining industry and the market of the mining is expected worth 13 billion in 2023, and it will grow up to 22 billion by 2028, and it will grow at an average rate of 11.3% according to Markets and Markets Research Report. The mining industry is set to leverage technologies such as IoT, AI, and analytics, thus enabling real-time data collection, analysis, and decision-making, thus empowering mining companies to optimize their operations, enhance safety measures, and improve overall efficiency. As the mining industry continues to embrace digital transformation, the adoption of connected mining solutions is expected to rise significantly, driving the market's growth and revolutionizing mining operations worldwide. The first use case is around asset tracking and management, where different assets, for example, vehicles, machineries, are tagged with IoT sensors to track their location and condition in real time, thus improving significantly the usage of these machines. The second one is around safety monitoring, where workers are wearing a badge, as you can see in the photo, and these badges are monitoring the environmental conditions. And these sensors can also generate SOS alerts driven by human or automatically in case of a fall or a collision detection. The third use case is around predictive maintenance, where we monitor the vibration profile of a machine, and we can accurately predict the failure or a downtime of the machine by using IoT and analytics. The last one is around remote operations and automation, where we can use robotics to drive operations for mining, where it will be very hazardous for humans to be there. I wanted to introduce LoRaWAN to the audience if they're not familiar with it before going deeper into the presentation. So the LoRaWAN specification is a low power wide area network which is designed for low power battery operated devices which are supposed to last up to 10 to 15 years, of course, depending on the use case and what the device is doing with the network. It offers end-to-end security using AES encryption. It can be deployed by anyone because it is operating in an unlicensed ISM band. LoRaWAN offers roaming across public and private networks as native part of the standard. And finally, it can be used for geolocalization of a sensor, which is using LoRaWAN as a communication technology. In this slide, I just wanted to highlight the impact that the LoRa Alliance has had over the last years. It offers a very rich ecosystem of developers, IoT devices, module manufacturers, application partners, and with many ready-to-go IoT applications for many verticals, including the mining industry. Why do we need ATEX ICX certification for mining? The first one is around safety compliance. So ATEX is for EU and ICX is international, and these certifications ensure that the equipment that is used in the mining operations meets the stringent safety standards to prevent the risk of explosion and fire in hazardous environments. The second one is legal requirement. because many countries have regulations mandating the use of ATEX ICX certified equipment in mining sites, and failure to comply will result in fines and legal liabilities. The third one is risk mitigation. So when you're using ATEX ICX certified equipment, you significantly reduce the risk of explosion due to gases, vapors, or any other hazardous material. The fourth, very important, is worker safety. This certification ensures that the equipment that is certified with ATEX ICX will not cause explosion, thus significantly reducing the risk of injuries and accidents that can happen due to explosion. The fifth one is product reliability. The certified equipment actually undergoes a very rigorous testing to ensure its reliability and that it can meet the performance that is required in the harsh mining environments. The next one is around global acceptance. So ICX especially is an international certification where many countries allow ICX certified equipment to be used locally in the mines in their country. In terms of insurance, when the devices are carrying this certification, as you can imagine, because it significantly reduces the risk of explosion, the insurance premium for a mining site also reduces significantly when the operational team of mining is using ATEX ICX certified devices. In terms of customer confidence, this certification ensures and demonstrates a commitment to safety and quality for everybody involved, including employees, customers, investors, and regulatory authorities. In terms of cost, because these devices can be priced a little bit higher than the normal non-ATEX or ICX certified equipment, but if you consider the cost of a site being dysfunctional or a heavy explosion that can cost billions of euros in damages, so the costs of these devices are very minor or negligible compared to the cost of cleaning up after the explosion. The last one is around environmental protection. As you can imagine, these explosions are very damaging to people involved and also the environment and the ecosystem around the site. So these certified equipment definitely goes a long way to protect our environment. So with that introduction, I hand it over to Jonathan.
Rohit. Hello, my name is Jonathan Prieto. I'm the CTO of Stracon Tech, the tech company of Stracon Group. And today I'm here to present you how we make use of LoRaWAN in the mining industry. Basically, in our side, we are using LoRaWAN mostly for safety solutions. The first one we developed is the tracking of people in the blasting areas. As you know, more than 29% of the incidents that we have in the mining industry are due to blastings and landslides, basically. So it's a very big problem to make sure that during the blasting process, we don't have people near the zone. So it's the reason why basically we develop a solution based on three main components. The first one is the LoRaWAN network. The second one is the badge to make with a GPS to make sure of the position of all the people near the blasting zone. And the third component is basically the solution by itself, the application we developed for the client. This is very useful for the client for two main reasons. The first one, it helps the client to have a better safety for the workers. You're able to see them in real time nearly. At least every minute you are able to see where these people are. And in case they go inside the blasting zone, automatically we are aware of that and we can change, for example, the frequency we receive the information, for example, to 30 seconds. So in case it is in the danger zone, you're able to keep track of this person more often, basically. And when they leave the blasting zone and they're in a safe zone, we can update again the frequency to 2 minutes, for example. This is very useful because thanks to that, we are able to keep the battery for more time. So it's a very useful, and this is thanks to basically our partnership with with Abiway, that are the manufacturer of the tags we're using in this case. Okay, so the characteristic of LoRaWAN. Why we choose LoRaWAN in the first opinion? Basically, the first thing is because it's a bidirectional communication, so we are able to send the information to the tag, but also to receive. So, for example, we want to know where this person is to be able to understand if he's inside the blasting zone. In case he's inside the blasting zone, we can take some decisions, as for example, to update the frequency of the message from the tag. We can send them an order to say them basically, please send now the information every 30 seconds, and basically we receive the information more often, and we can keep track of the person more frequently. The second, one of the main reasons why we are using LoRaWAN is because of the low power consumption. Our competitors, most of them are using LTE connection or Wi-Fi, but as we know, those two technologies use much more battery than LoRaWAN. So this is one of the main reasons why nowadays people are ready to choose a technology using LoRaWAN, because even in this kind of application where we are asking data every minute, for example, and this frequency is very often actually for a technology as LoRaWAN, we are having like a week of battery in this smart badge, and this is like it's a very important period actually if you compare this to an LTE, for example, where you're gonna have a week, but the device is gonna be much bigger because the battery inside is just gigantic. We have a long communication range between 10 to 30 kilometers. We did some tests in a mine near the coast of Ica in Peru, and actually we had like 35 kilometers only with one gateway. So the range is very, very important. It depends obviously of the mountain and everything, but yes, actually it's a very cheap technology, because just with one or two or maybe three antennas, you're going to be able to cover a whole mine, and this is completely different from other technology like LTE, that obviously will give you the ability to send more information, but at the end of the day, you're going to use much more gateway, and it's going to be much more expensive, and the decision for choosing this technology is going to take much more time, because the investment is much more important than with LoRaWAN. We can connect a lot of sensors. Nowadays, we have very important market of different kind of sensors. So this is very important because they can buy up my solution for tracking, but they can also track sensors and everything. So yeah, nowadays it's a very important to think about this, because they can use their network for other things also. Obviously, we have a low data rates because it's not a network that is made to send videos or things like this. And the transmission frequency is very low. Is the reason why we get so much distance, and it's the ISM frequency basically. And also something that is very important is that people that work, for example, in one mine of one client can go to another mine of them, and these tags is going to be able, for example, to work in the other mine, because they're going to use the same network server. In this case, we're using ThinkPark. So the basic component, the first one is the gateway. Obviously, the gateway has all the characteristics we have been talking before. Large coverage per antenna, it's very cost effective. Also, we love to talk about redundancy by design, because we're gonna use maybe two antennas, even if we need only one, because we want to have something very with redundancy. So something that even if one gateway fails, you're still gonna have the connection. We work with a network server, so we're going to connect this gateway to a network server, in this case ThinkPark, and we have very high security standard thanks to the LoRaWAN protocol. And another very important component is the tag. Actually, in this case, we are using the Abiway tag. This is an IP67 device. It's manufactured for high impact resistance. So yeah, it's a very tough device. It's very useful because actually you can just use it as a holder for for your badge to open the door, for example, in the mine and everything. So it's very useful for the client. The form factor is very small also. It's very easy to put it, for example, in your shirt or something like this. So the client really like it. And the battery life is very good. We have like a week of battery life with this device, so we are very happy, and the client really appreciate the practicity of the device. Another very important component is basically the platform. Nowadays, our platform is in the second version. We did some changes. We can also track nowadays, for example, the amount of people that is inside a factory using beacons, okay? So it's not only a platform to track people in blasting zones, but also to understand how many people is inside a factory. For example, there are some factories that work with some dangerous product, and you cannot be there for more than an hour. Nowadays, with this platform, you are able to understand how many people is there, for how many times there have been there, and you can put some rules of these people can go there, these other can't. So it's very interesting because with the time we have been adding many features that the client asks us to add, and nowadays this platform is really personalized for the mining sector, and it has been built basically by one of the main actors of the mining industry in Peru. So this is very interesting, actually. But the basic principle is this: basically, you can create some areas inside the map, and if someone goes inside during one period of time, from this period of time to this period of time, basically it's going to generate some kind of alarm, and you're going to receive an email, and in the platform you're going to be able to see it, and if people move, you can see it in real time. You also have an option to see from this period of time to this period of time where how one person has been moving inside the mine. It's called the path functionality. So yeah, basically we have many features nowadays, and they have been designed by our clients, actually. And finally, but not least, one of the main features of our platform is the use of the LNS ThinkPark. We're integrating a lot of functionalities of the LNS, because, for example, when we want to send back the information to the device, we have to use the API of ThinkPark. So actually, we have many integration with ThinkPark, and we are very happy of the collaboration we have been with Actility, integrating ThinkPark to Stracontech tracking technology. Nowadays, we can say that our solution is basically 5 main things. LoRaWAN network design. At the beginning, we have to understand how many gateways, where they're going to be installed. The Stracontech tracking platforms, the tags, the Abiway Smart Badge, the field installation, startup, and configuration, but also the post-implementation support. This is very important because nowadays we have many actors in Peru, for example, that are trying to sell the LoRaWAN network, but they don't understand that the client nowadays are looking for an end-to-end solution. And this is where Stracontech is leading the market, understanding that need from the client and delivering what they are asking for. Finally, nowadays, the next steps, we are developing and adding LoRaWAN feature into our new products. For example, this is our proximity system, that basically the system that is capable with a badge, with a tag, let's call it like this, it's like a tag, to tell you if you're near a truck, for example, okay? And it's very interesting because this technology is not new, okay? It's something that is very common, but there is two main things here that are very interesting. The first one is that we are using ultra-wideband, so we have a very precise, and we can measure with a very good precision how far are the people from the truck. This is the first feature. But the second one is that this device that in the past was only had the information inside and just give you an alarm if you're too near from someone, nowadays can report the information to a system. And how? With LoRaWAN. Basically, we are able to send information about this person and this truck had nearly an accident at this hour in this place because they have a GPS. So it's very interesting to have this nowadays. And also because in the past it was very complicated to control if the badge of the people had battery or not. Nowadays with LoRaWAN we are also able to send information about the percentage of battery of the tags via the LoRaWAN network. So it's very interesting to see how nowadays LoRaWAN is helping to make more technological some products that in the past that are very old but that nowadays need to be more connected. So this is really the interest, I think, of a technology like LoRaWAN. Why we cannot take this technology and put it in some old application that already exist. Testimonies, one of our first clients, Marcobre, actually, especially Minajusta, has been very happy with our solution, and it has been the first client we had for the tracking solution. All our products, talking about LoRaWAN, are homologated into the MTC and complies with all the regulation and requirements of the Peruvian government and also in Chile. Now I leave the floor to Gaurav. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Hi, everyone. My name is Gaurav Rajput, and at SIOG, I am the operations manager. Today, I'm going to talk about our Coal India deployment at NCL and SECL, that's Northern Coalfields and Southern Coalfields, using LoRaWAN network and the ABWay Smart Badge. This project was a part of Coal India Limited's initiative of performance and safety management through digital transformation, with a target to increase its production from 600 metric tons to 1,000 metric tons by year 2024. The coal mines, as you can see here, are in the northern state of India and are located at very far remote locations, around 300 kilometers from the main cities. These are total 7 mega projects located across 2 different states in India with a combined production of 250 plus metric ton of coal per annum. Here you can see one of the mega mines which stretches for up to 9 kilometers in length and 250 meters in depth from the ground level. This is Giant Mine located in the state of Madhya Pradesh. The major challenges here, as you can see, were no real-time visibility of workers inside the mines and how many people are present at a particular time and where are they located. How can you ensure safety of workers and operators working inside the mines and how they can reach out to their concerned supervisors of or control rooms in case of emergency, as there is no mobile network present inside the mines. The workers, when they come for their shift, have to wait for uh, at least half an hour to get to know which machine they'll be working on. This is a productivity loss due to delay in the job allocation. In case of any emergency situation like fire inside the mines, there is no location data of workers to the control room so they can inform or evacuate the people immediately. Lot of times people fail to manage the boundary of the blastings inside the mines, and we are not sure if anyone is present inside the blasting radius. This can cause fatal accidents inside the mine, right? All of these challenges were being faced by Coal India at the start of their operations. So we designed a solution to help both NCL and SCCL mega projects to solve these challenges through digital transformation. We put BLE beacons inside the heavy machineries as well as the buildings and distributed the ABWay smart badges amongst the workers, operators going inside the mines. We set up the LoRa network through outdoor LoRa gateways and then push this location data to the LNS from where it is going to the cloud server and then finally being presented on our SIUG Insight dashboard. This data uh, helps us build reports, compliances, everything possibly needed by the customer on a single dashboard. So this is the hardware we have deployed. The curling outdoor gateways to set up the LoRa network. The smart badges, as we call them, Suraksha Kavach here in local language, which translates to safety shield for the operators and workers. The BLE beacons to get the location data when the people are inside the buildings and inside the indoor locations. The smart badges are currently working in BLE GPS mode, and they easily switch from the BLE to GPS when the people are moving from indoor location to outdoor location. Again, these are the real life pictures of deployed hardware. You can see we have used existing mobile towers to install these gateways and beacons inside the mesh machineries. We are currently handling about 6,500 plus manpower with 2,500 smart badges, which are distributed throughout the day across three different shifts. You can also see that we had to bring a lot of awareness as this there was a lot of curiosity on how this tag will help people manage their safety goals. So you can see some of the samples where we try to put and explain through pictures how this smart badge is going to help them achieve their safety goals inside the mines. And now you can see here our platforms look inside and the spread of people as well as the machineries across the four mines of northern coalfields. The benefits to Coal India through our system were first of all the real-time location data of people walking inside the mines so that they can easily reach out during any emergency situation. The control rooms are also able to monitor the working hours of their people, out of which they can understand the productive and unproductive working hours through our reports. The control room are also able to easily reach out to people and evacuate them through during the emergency situations when the alarms are raised and if any compliances are being violated. This system also allows a smart attendance, ruling out the traditional ways of the attendance where people have to do manual thumb printing, which is very time consuming and also unreliable. Finally, the people can raise an SOS alarm by triggering the button on the smart badge and sending an SMS and email to their concerned supervisors and the control room people. We have also developed auto man machine allocation for ease and quick allocation of available manpower at the start of the shift, where shift in charge can quickly go to the platform and easily allocate the people to the available machines. The process used to take 45 minutes before we deployed our project, and now it is being done under 15 minutes. We have also integrated our platform with SAP for the GPS location and machine availability through APIs, which is now currently being maintained by the Coal India officials. This helps them save their time understanding the availability and live location data of people working inside the mines. We have also integrated our platform to a third party software called a centralized war room, where the alerts, when they are getting triggered, are sent to the control room people so that they can act quickly. So, the result of this project were very much visible within a few months of deployment, wherein you can see the southeastern coal fields registered 44% growth in coal production in July 2023. Apart from this, there were numerous cases of medical emergencies being handled on a very quick emergency positions, and the Coal India officials were able to manage their safety goals on a monthly basis. Thank you, everyone, and I leave the floor to Shatak.
Thank you, Gora, for this beautiful presentation. By the way, I'm Çağatay Karataş. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Things, and I would like to share with you our digital transformation project in an open lignite mine. So we had the opportunity to work on a huge open mine, and we connected more than 320 heavy equipment. What we do is more than typical asset tracking stuff. We actually focused on total increase in production and improvement in operation. This, which means we calculate the tonnage of the coal or the volume of the excavation day to day in real time. which gives our customers an insight or a digital presentation of what's going on in the real mining site. To give you an idea of the place that we work currently, here's a Google Map picture. You can see it is 14 kilometers long and 7 kilometers wide. Luckily, there is a steep hill nearby, and we put our first base station there, and it covered entire area with one base station. And the biggest distance we measured was 21 kilometers away from our basic base station. And of course, we have multiple base stations on sites for backup purposes. And as you can see on the picture on the right, there are no infrastructure or electricity whatsoever. So we had to come up with an off-grid standalone solution. So we powered our base stations with solar panels and batteries. And it worked pretty well for the last 8 months. As you can guess, we use LoRaWAN sensors. And the sensors we use must be rugged and sustainable because the physical realities in mining station is rough. And we use those sensors. We typically have two types of sensors. First one, which is powered by batteries and can snap on the surface of the machine with magnets. I'm sure most of you are familiar in LoRaWAN community. And the second one has a cable attached to it, and this cable is only for getting power or electricity from somewhere. So in both cases, the sensors we use require low maintenance and easy assembly. And we have our secret sauce. We developed our own activity analysis module, which is basically a vibration computer, a small module that calculates the vibration and has some insights from the vibration data. For example, our vibration module can tell if it is mounted on a loader or excavator. So you can imagine that we embed these modules into the LoRaWAN sensors we use on site, so that with the vibration module we can tell how many loading has been done with the current excavator, or we can tell if this specific loader is in a loading situation or the loading situation, or if it is mounted on a dump truck, it can tell if it's going too fast or it is risky driving, or the number of trips that that specific truck has been done during the operation. So we use dashboards like other IoT platforms. We have both micro and macro views. For macro views, from a managerial presentation, we can tell our customers how many tons of coal has been excavated, or how many machines were operational, that kind of stuff. So it's like a macro view of the operation. So it is like real-time data, and it is always shown in daily basis to our customers. And in the micro view, of course, you can zoom into one specific dump truck or excavator, and this micro view, that dashboard, can tell you how many hours has been working, where the working has taken place, how many times that specific machine visit the workshop, how much time is spent there. All that stuff you can just make some diagnosis in operational sense for each machine. And secondly, we also like to measure what's going on between the machines, which means we like to monitor the interaction between the machines. We can tell which excavator loaded which truck, that kind of stuff. And lastly, since we know the total working hours of each machine, and since we can separate from idling from real operations, we can give an accurate calculation of carbon emission on site. So we can draw that graph in real time. So in 6 months' time, we had increased the activity in mining sites 6%, which means 6% of production, which is a huge thing for us. And of course, we cut entire unnecessary idling, waiting times on site. We saved a lot of fuel. And those fuel equals to 80 tons of carbon emission. So this is the first phase of our project, and the second phase, which started on January, is focused on production increase. So first phase was more like eliminating the waste on site in operational wise, but the second phase is basically focusing on how can we increase the total amount of coal that is excavated, which we use several methods to do that. For example, we are doing scorecards for each truck driver, so we compare them and calculate them daily basis. For the first month, we had very good numbers, and we are motivated with it. And I believe in the following months, we can come up with a second success story, maybe. And I would like to show you guys maybe in another webinar. So this is what we do. This is what things do in mining sites. And thank you for your time. And back to you, Rohit.
Thanks, Chatai. As discussed by other speakers, the LoRaWAN technology has tremendous benefits for mining industry and can address wide variety of its needs. I want to start by giving a brief overview of our trackers and then go over their ATEX ICX certifications. On the top left, we have industrial tracker with 19 ampere hour non-rechargeable battery, and it has the largest battery lifetime and has hardened casing for use in rough environments. On the bottom left, we have compact tracker that is suitable for tracking heavy equipment. It has a very hardened casing. It comes with three AA replaceable batteries, and it is IP68 waterproof enclosure. This tracker is certified for ATEX ICX Zone 0 and ATEX Zone 2. On the top right, we have micro tracker, which is most suitable for tracking small objects, pets, and comes with rechargeable battery. It has a buzzer, tricolor LED, and a multi-mode button. On the bottom right, we have a smart badge, which can be worn as a badge around the neck and is most suitable for people tracking. It also has a placeholder to store the company badge and is certified for ATEX Zone 2 and ATEX Zone 1 for smart badge is due in Q2 2024. Here is the brief overview of Compact Tracker. Compact Tracker is very useful for tracking heavy machinery and combines multi-technology geolocation using GPS, ABIWAY proprietary, low-power GPS, Wi-Fi sniffer, and Bluetooth. It is certified for ATEX Zone 0 for gas and Zone 20 for dust, and it is also certified for ATEX Zone 2 for gas and Zone 22 for dust. We also have recently launched LoRaWAN Manageable Beacon, which is also very useful for mining industry, and it carries also ATEX ICX certification. There's a very high demand for indoor geolocation using Bluetooth, usually in hazardous environments such as oil and gas, mining, which requires ATEX ICX compliant BLE beacons. This beacon can be remotely configured over LoRaWAN or using ABIWAY tracking app over Bluetooth. It has the same form factor as that of Compact Tracker. It can broadcast popular beaconing formats, for example, Eddystone, Alt Beacon, iBeacon, and Coupa. Here are the other key features of this product. It can monitor temperature and battery level. It has a waterproof enclosure very similar to Compact Tracker for IP68. It is shock resistant, and it can detect Bluetooth beacon in the range of about 100 meters in an open area. And of course, it can be fixed on an equipment or on the wall, thanks to the different screws and around the casing. This slide gives an overview of ABIWAY Smart Badge. ABIWAY Smart Badge has its applications to track people for their safety and also monitoring of employees in different work zones. It carries 1.3 ampere hour rechargeable battery and already has ATEX Zone 2 22 certification, and we are also planning ATEX Zone 1 21 certification, which is due in Q2 2024. I also want to take this opportunity to introduce you the new product that we have introduced recently. It's called the Combo LPWAN Compact Tracker. The product has the same form factor as Compact Tracker, but combines LoRaWAN, LTM, and NB-IoT in one single product, allowing to switch radio technologies depending on the needs of the application. This product uses ABIWAY Murata geolocation module, which includes Semtech LR1110, MT3333 MediaTek chipset for GPS and Bluetooth, and it uses Sequans GM02S cellular IoT module. The main use case of this product is to track objects using either of the radio technologies, LoRaWAN or cellular IoT, thus providing maximum radio coverage. The ATEX certification of this product is pending for later this year. Finally, we have also added LoRaWAN relay based on the Abiwe Murata 1WL geolocation module. This product is very useful to extend LoRaWAN coverage in hard-to-reach areas without deploying additional infrastructure. This allows customers to keep their infrastructure costs low while increasing the coverage thanks to the LoRaWAN relay. This product also has the same form factor as that of Compact Tracker. It has a hardened casing and is modular, and it can resist water and shocks and carries 3 times AA replaceable batteries. I want to take this opportunity to discuss ThinkPark Location, which is a service that combines location data from GPS, LPGPS, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. It comes with Abiwe Device Manager that can be used to troubleshoot Abiwe devices. ThinkPark Location is driven fully by APIs and is already integrated with popular Wi-Fi solvers such as Google and HERE technologies. Finally, I want to introduce you Abiwe mobile app, which is consumer app that can be white labeled for customer needs. Abiwe tracking app is very useful to track your loved ones, pets, small objects with Abiwe trackers, and allows interesting features such as sharing your location, notification on geofences, history of positions, and also setting up alerts. This app also allows easy tracker configuration and firmware update. So here's a summary of ATEX ICX markings for all the Abiwe devices. The typical use cases of these certifications is for fixed offshore platforms, petrochemical plants, or any facility that has hazardous substances. So you can see here ATEX Zone 0, 20 and ICX Zone 0, which is the row 1, is for compact tracker and industrial manageable ATEX beacon. ATEX Zone 222 is for micro tracker V2. Smart Batch, Compact Tracker, and Industrial Manageable ATEX Beacon. And finally, ATEX Zone 121 is for Smart Batch. And this certification for Smart Batch for ATEX Zone 1 is due for Q2 of this year. So here you can see all the summary of all the ATEX ICX certifications for our trackers. And if you need more information, I invite you to go and click this link, or you can scan this QR code to go to our website, which has more details about these certifications. So with that, we can start the Q&A.
So I'll go with the first one. The first one is from Amar Mustafa. And the question is, are these devices class 1 Dev 1 certified? I think you mean class A. So Abiwe trackers current generation are class A, LoRaWAN class A certified. And the future generations of Abiwe trackers will be based on the Abiwe module, will also support class B and class C. If this does not answer your question, you can put another question on the bottom of Q&A tab, and I'll go further. The week of battery lifetime. So I don't know what was the exact rate of transmission for the use cases that you saw earlier. I've put in the public page the link to the Abiwe power consumption tool. If there's a problem with that, you can reach out to us again, and I can send you the link. Again, the battery capacity. This again, I think is for Smart Batch. For Smart Batch is 1.3 ampere hour. I've also put the link to the Smart Batch product page. Put the link to the Smart Batch product page, and on the same link you will see the other trackers product pages, and there is a data sheet on the bottom of each product page because the battery capacity is different for different type of trackers. Feel free to put your questions in the bottom if, let's say, what I said is not satisfactory or you have more questions. Live Google Map or offline map. So the way it's working is that Abiwe smart badges are sending their positions over GPS or Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, depending on the tracker configuration, over LoRaWAN. And then the business application takes that position and puts it on the Google map or an offline map. and that's how it's working. The next question was around IP rating of the trackers. So for current smart badges, IP rating is IP65. For compact tracker, it is higher. I think it's IP67 or 68. And the next generation of smart badges will also have a higher IP rating. Another question was if these badges are connected to internet through SIM. So the trackers that you saw in the presentation, they are only supporting LoRaWAN. However, as you saw in my presentation, that we are launching a combo LPWAN compact tracker. That would be the first tracker that we would launch, which will support NB-IoT, LTE-M, and also LoRaWAN. And that would be the cellular connectivity that we will support. And the cellular connectivity support will come in other product variants like Smart Badge and Micro Tracker as we go along for rest of the year. The next question is from Clara, and her question is, what is the difference between the compact tracker and the beacon? So you can use compact tracker as a beacon. There is nothing that stops you to do that. However, we made another product for beacon because for high volumes you do not want to have GPS or Wi-Fi chip inside the compact tracker. So for high volumes we can remove those two chips and the product cost will go down depending on the volume. But essentially the firmware is the same on all the trackers. So you can use, if you want to do a small test or a POC, you can use compact tracker as a beacon in the Abiway documentation site. I will put the link in the public area. There is a use case section on how to configure your tracker as a beacon. And I will put that as a reply to this question in the public area. So I'm just trying to find that. The next question is from John Archer. And his question is the relay available already? The answer is yes. And you can purchase it on our marketplace. It's called market.thinkpark.com. I will put the link to the marketplace link to purchase the trackers. You purchase any tracker from there. And if you have any questions or something doesn't work, you can reach out to us. Okay, so then what is the maximum operating temperature of the smart badge? So I'm checking the data sheet. The operating temperature of the smart badge is minus 10 degrees to 55 degrees Celsius. And you can find this information on the product page. And then on the bottom of the product page, there's a data sheet with all the detailed specs. And the operating range is different for different trackers. So please do it for the tracker that you are interested in. The next question is from Shrikant. Is the solution suitable for underground miner tracking? I don't know if one of the speakers would want to answer this question.
Yeah, we are actually doing a POC where we are tracking workers in an underground mine, right? And when we say suitability, time will tell, right? So it's just a POC, and we haven't faced any problems as such, and it is meeting all the technical requirements over there. So I would say, as such, it should not be a challenge using it in an underground mine.
The next question was around IP67, IP68 version of the smart badge. I need to check internally on the planning for this, so I cannot answer you the question right now, but I expect sometime in Q2 or Q3, we might have a Abiway smart badge with the higher rating. If you want more complete details, you can reach out to our marketing link or the webinar organizer, and then you can get in touch with me directly for this kind of question. Then what guidance is there for using LoRaWAN network in underground mines? This question is from Clara, and I think it would be good if one of the speakers who used what is the guidance for using LoRaWAN network in underground mines?
So primarily the guidance is about connectivity continuation, right? So
Right.
ideally, it's all about creating a continuous coverage. So either you follow a mesh network, right, wherever possible, but in a lot of mines, creating a mesh network is not easy or not possible. So there, LoRaWAN works as the ideal scenario because at least it gives you a very long range of coverage. And definitely, if there are a lot of curves or narrow corners, then definitely you need more number of gateways. But it's possible and it's easy to create a network inside the underground mine using LoRaWAN.
The next question was from Vijay. Shuk and Abiway, what's the difference? So Abiway and Shuk are separate companies, and Shuk is partner of Abiway. And they're working with us very closely for the trackers and all the associated firmware and the backend that comes along with it. And I believe Shuk is the one that has developed the business application for their customers.
So ABWay, you can consider them as an enabler, right? They are building the hardware layer, right, which we can leverage and create applications for the appropriate customer use cases, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's how we are cooperating, right? We coexist, we help each other. So there is usually a lot of 360 feedback which goes from us to ABWay as to how to improve their product or even how to improve their firmware and stuff, right? So yeah, there's a lot of cooperation between both partners.
And the question is, ANMAR is referring to C1D1 explosive environment classification. I'm not aware of this certification. So today, Abiway badges are for ATEX certified. ATEX is European standard, which a lot of countries use as a basis for their own requirements in the country. And we are also ICX certified, which is international certification. So we just have to, you can reach out to our marketing team or the webinar organizer and come back to me, and I can help you with what is missing to do the C1D1 certification. But essentially, we are now targeting two norms. ATEX is European, ICX is international, and then we will also have very soon North American certification, which is very easy to have because we already have ATEX certification. The next question is from Shrikant. Are these devices require DGMS approval to use in coal mines? I don't know, Ajit. Is this Indian regulation, DGMS? I don't know what DGMS refers to.
Yeah, it's so it's Director General of Mining Safety. Yes, you need DGMS certification, but typically, if you have ATEX or similar certifications, then it's all just a rubber stamp process, right? It's not complicated.
Correct. The next question is from Vijay. What is the difference between LoRa server and network server? For me, LoRaWAN network server, I don't know what is a LoRa server in your text. But LoRaWAN network server is what Abiway badges are really communicating over the radio network, and the payload of the Abiway device comes from the network server to the business application, or from the LoRaWAN network server to ThinkPath location, which is like a location solver which combines GPS, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth positions in one single position to the business application. So LoRaWAN network server is what Abiway badges are actually talking to over the LoRa gateway. There are a few more questions. It's from Hung. How reliable is the network? Given that you're using this for potentially human safety use cases, I would imagine that we cannot afford to lose connectivity in an event of emergency. I would imagine that you would need to deploy a lot more infrastructure to ensure redundancy and reliability of your signal. Ajit, would you like to answer this question because this is related to the deployment? I have the answer to it. It'll be good if you can give your feedback, please.
Yeah, sure. So when it comes to reliability, right, you're correct. You need to have redundancy because when it comes to LoRaWAN, right, the devices are just beacons, right? They're just transmitting. They're not waiting for any acknowledgement, especially when it comes to location, right? But yes, when there is any SOS scenario, there are priority message broadcasts which are handled by the appropriate network, and there is some continuation, right? Because this beaconing is frequent, right? It could be happening every 1 minute. So even if you miss the data of 1 minute of a regular location update, right, it does not mean that the same applies to the SOS scenario or the emergency scenario, because in the emergency scenario, your transmission is almost continuous, right? So that in case you miss one or two packets, at least the third or fourth packet will land with you. So you won't miss any SOS or emergency alert scenarios. And network redundancy is definitely required, right? We would recommend to at least have 1+1. So if your network coverage requires that, okay, 4 gateways are sufficient for your coal mine coverage, I would actually recommend going for at least one extra, right? Just to be sure that in case one gateway is down, the other one will catch the signal, right? And when it comes to reliability, we have deployments even in oil and gas using the same system, right? And the safety standards over there are much more stringent. It's working over there. It's been proven for years together, right? So I can be
Right.
confident about the LoRaWAN technology when it comes to reliability. It's not going to be an issue.
Right. It's a network design question, actually. Okay. So I've put in the public chat my email. Um, I'm not sure if the speaker email was in their slides, but you can reach out to me for any questions related to Abiway or for the speakers. Um, there was one more question I see here. Abiway Device Manager can be on OCP only if you have ThinkPark location installed on OCP. So today, if you want to try out Abiway Device Manager, you can try out free on our community platform. I'm giving you the link on where you can use the Abiway evaluation kit. If you already have Abiway trackers, you can purchase it from marketplace, or you can if you already have Abiway smart badges, you would need to purchase a LoRa gateway and then put the LoRa gateway on our community platform, which is a ThinkPark free service for testing by developers. And then you can follow the instructions on the link I just put on the public chat. And then you can use Abiway Device Manager, but it will be in our SaaS. And to use Abiway Device Manager in OCP, you can reach out to me because it would require installation of ThinkPark location in OCP, and it's a project to do so, which we do for large customers. But you can use Abiway Device Manager with the link of the kit that I shared with you. The event unless you have some other questions. Okay, nothing else. Thank you, and have a nice rest of the day. Thanks, everyone.